people misplace their keys, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Tomorrow, the Copa del Rey is on beIN Sports. CD Numancia versus Real Madrid. First leg on beIN Sports.
Money is like life. You have to decide how to spend it. And just like life, every decision affects every other decision. Especially when the big things come up. You have to be able to step back and see what they mean not just today, but tomorrow. So we created some simple, free tools to help you see how all of your money and investments work together. So you can make smart choices about how to spend your money and your life. Personal Capital. Get to know your money.
The most important WTA tournaments are here on beIN Sports. And now, in 2018, the action continues. The Brisbane Tournament on beIN Sports.
Question marks over whether Fernando Torres was in fact onside when that ball was played, but it mattered not. The flag wasn't raised, and Los Colchoneros are very much in control of proceedings here. Lleida really did give them a good account of themselves, though. The team from 2 tiers below their visitors tonight, registering more shots at goal than Atletico and really trying to get in behind them on occasion. But the clinical level of the players in the Atletico side just proving the difference thus far. We'll have to see what Gerard Albadalejo has got up his sleeve. There is what Diego Simeone potentially has up his sleeve. Diego Costa and Bitolo set to make their debuts, having signed for the clubs. Well, perhaps the day before Diego Simeone, of course, returning to Atletico de Madrid, but his first appearance, having come back and having had to wait a few months, waiting for this transfer window to open after, of course, Atletico de Madrid were banned from signing players in the summer. The Lleida starting 11, David Oliveros in goal, Musa, Neko Sarostegui, Marc Trias and Aitor Núñez, the back four. Across the midfield, Fernando Pumar, Mustafa Ganin, Jose Luis Valiente, Manu Molina. Going for Bojan Radulovic and Ivan Agudo, and a very strong Atletico de Madrid lineup. Miguel Angel Moya does replace Jan Oblak in goal. Defense of Juan Fran, Jose Jimenez, Diego Godin and Lucas Hernandez in the midfield. Angel Correa, Augusto Fernandez, Saúl and Yannick Carrasco, while Kevin Gamera and Fernando Torres are the front two. Here is the impressive Musa, putting the ball into the area, cleared away by Jose Maria Jimenez. So Lleida immediately on the attack, and I've got to say, no reason why they shouldn't be. They really did look like they were going to take the game to Atletico, especially in the opening stage of that first half. Yeah, 2-0 down, they don't have very much to lose, do they? Of course, there is a second leg to this tie next week in Wanda Metropolitano. Lleida will want to head there, at least with their heads held high. Another ball put in by Musa. Comes back out. And there's a foul there right under the nose of the referee. Just felt perhaps the Atletico man was lent into. Once again, the referee, Ricardo de Burgos Bengoechea, incurring the wrath of the home fans. Says Gamero, may have had been an attempt at a shoulder barge, but he was looking directly at his man. No thoughts of playing the ball. There's the piece of skill from the Lleida coach, just sticking out the right leg and bringing it under control. Correa trying to get around Musa, but as I said, and I will continue to say, it really is very impressive. Then continue up the line though, and the touch from Fernando Pumar. And he sees the ball fall for a throw. Gustav Fernandez goes into the tackle with Mustafa Engin. Saul clipping away at Ivan Agudo and eventually conceding the free kick. Now on the run on that far side, Manu Molina, the overlaps, a decent ball in. There's a very, very good header indeed from Ivan Agudo. The cross from Aitor Núñez. That's the sort of play Lleida are capable of producing. That's a very well worked move into the end. The ball flying straight into the arms of Miguel Angel Moya. Oh, my word. A very well created opportunity. Everybody knows, even at the highest level, you don't get too many opportunities against Atletico de Madrid. And the Lleida fans who no doubt made the switch from Unión Esportiu Lleida to Lleida Esportiu back in 2011 when the two clubs were effectively switched over, but most people around here consider it to be the same club despite the change of name. No change of stadium, no change of division. No free kick over on that far side. The ball won back very well there by Mustafa, given away by Bojan once more. And now Juan Fran can just calm things down for the away side. Antoine Griezmann also on the bench along with Thomas Partey and the backup goalkeeper Axel Werner. Only 5 substitutes allowed in Copa del Rey ties involving teams from outside of the top 2 divisions. Now Juan Fran with the ball into the near post. Well met by Neko Sadostegui and cleared away. Calls all round for various complaints from the home side. Angel Correa giving the ball away very cheaply indeed, and now Manu Molina in the race with Lucas Hernandez who slides in, wins it back, throwing taken quickly into the feet of Jose Luis Valiente. Now Manu Molina turns it back to the former Atletico man Aitor Núñez. Had a couple of years back in 2007 to 2009 with Atletico's B team, went on to play for Rayo and Cádiz and Hércules Cultural Leonesa Rayo Majadahonda, before joining Lleida this summer. Here's Angel Correa looking around for options, running out of room. Mustafa puts the tackle in, and the referee decides it was an unfair tackle. Let's have a look at it again here. There's a couple of clips. Gotta say, it looked like a fair enough challenge to me. And the first division side, a protected species. I'm sure down in their Segunda B, the odd tackle like that is most certainly allowed. Lleida actually went into this game on the back of a terrible run of form, it has to be said. Their last victory in the league came on the 22nd of October. Since then, they've gone 10 games without a win, dropped right down the table, as I said in the first half. They're still only 7 points away from the playoffs, but they are one of the favourites to reach the playoffs, so run of form. They were hoping for an encouraging performance and an encouraging result here tonight. It is Musa. That's a decent ball in. Just drops down to the edge of the box. Carrasco turns, still not clear now. Carrasco will get a chance to try and run it out. He goes over, the referee goes over, nothing doing. Both Carrasco and Mr. de Burgos pick themselves up. That flick, though, only falls as far as Lucas, who eventually manages to prod it out wide to that far side to Fernando Torres. Back into the feet of Carrasco, thinking about trying to find space for a shot, eventually does. Ricochets back to Fernando Torres, who can't turn it back across the face of goal. The crowd want the ball played out. And now Mr. De Borges will come all the way upfield just to check as Lleida head coach Gerard Albadalejo tells everybody who will listen that he felt Bojan Radulovic should have received treatment almost immediately, and it happened some time before this breakaway. And there's the referee going over in the centre of all that. Looks like he's going to be okay, the Lleida striker, but if he gets a head injury, really the linesman you'd think should have at least said something. And there you can see, maybe not the main man of course tonight, but certainly one player who will be watched with great interest. Victor Machin Perez Vitolo preparing to come on to make his Atletico de Madrid debut. It's well over 30 million euros to secure his services from Sevilla in the summer. Loaned to Las Palmas for the first half of the campaign, and now preparing to come on. I wonder if he's going to come on for Yannick Carrasco. We'll have to see. Bojan Radulovic makes his way round the side of the field here. Thumbs up to the crowd. A larger turnout by some margin than Lleida normally have for their home games. Ball play back to David Oliveros, who readjusts his feet, sends it upfield. Fernando Pumar managed to get the flick on, but Lleida, of course, playing on with 10 men. Well, they were until you just saw there Bojan Radulovic allowed back onto the field now. Miguel Angel Moya under some pressure, plays it out. Augusto Fernandez to Diego Godin. Godin looks to really judge that pass. It's a tempting one, but can't bust his way through on that far side. Can Saul. Now it's Lleida's turn. You can see how well they just play the ball around, considering where they are in the league and indeed in their own division. Lleida, they're putting on a good performance here this evening, I've got to say. Encouraging for the start of 2018. Of course, they have conceded those 2 goals, which does take the gloss off things almost completely, but they continue to battle away, try and play the football. In the end, the ball just hooked back to Moya. Ivan Agudo gave chase. Atletico keeper cleared it, but only as far as Manu Molina. Lucas goes over. No foul, says the linesman. He's back up on his feet immediately, Lucas, which tells you something about if he was hurt or not. Pumar picks it up on the left. Musa goes one way, then the other. Past Angel Correa, continues the run. He goes over. That will be a free kick to Lleida. Well played. Man of the match, Musa Bande. He has had an outstanding game, hasn't he? Born in Mataró, age 26, Musa Bande Kande. As I said, has certainly been around the Catalan lower league scene. Jongueras, Dam, Badalona, Granollers, Europa. On the outskirts of Barcelona, Hospitalet, Olot, Nastic. Really does look the part, the summer signing here for Lleida tonight. Free kick to be taken by Manu Molina, straight into the bodies. A 2-man wall made up of Correa and Gamero. Lleida trying to play it down the flanks. Musa manages to bring it under control and wins the corner off the legs of Lucas Hernandez. Doing ever so well. I'll tell you, there is big news in the Copa del Rey from the Balearic Islands just outside San Francisco. It is Formentera 1, Alaves 1. Formentera, who knocked Athletic Club de Bilbao out in the last round of equalise against First Division Alaves. Oh, he shouldn't have touched that, should he? Yeah, he's furious with himself. Mark Trias, he knows it. Probably got the shout, but was so intent on just trying to bring it under control there. And the player behind him, in the shape of Ivan Agudo, doesn't need telling. And now the change will be made, and it will be Yannick Carrasco who makes way, and it will be Vitolo, the 28-year-old from Las Palmas, who comes on, the Spain international. Atletico fans applaud Carrasco's exit, and I'll give Vitolo an even bigger round of applause, one would suspect. A real hero in the Balearic Islands. 4 years with Sevilla. An integral part of a lot of their success, especially in the Europa League, of course. They've waited quite a while to see him in action, and there's a mistake at the back, and he tries to go for goal, up and over the bar. Manu Molina thought about outpacing the defence, had glory in his eyes. There's a good flick in the end, but there's the touch from Saul that really will not have pleased his head coach, and certainly not his goalkeeper, putting Manu Molina in down the right. And now we'll see changes for Lleida being lined up. Javi Lopez, the player on the left, preparing to come on. Atletico taking their time over this throw as we cross the hour mark in the first leg of this round of 16 encounter in the Copa del Rey. Lleida 0, Atletico de Madrid 2. Down the line, Kevin Gamero can't control. Mustafa sees the ball ricochet off his man. It's hooked for once again, and it will be Jorge Felix and Javi Lopez who are due to come on as Angel Correa looks into the area, plays it towards the run of Fernando Torres, but it's cleared away. One has to wonder if and when Diego Costa will indeed appear. Well, the expectation is that he will participate this evening. Pablo Simeone, Diego Simeone even. Pablo Simeone will have to make that decision himself, or does he wait for the league game against Getafe on Saturday? Here's Diego Simeone and indeed Antoine Griezmann. Maybe he'll just replace the front two, a straight like-for-like swap to see how the two first-choice strikers work together. Well played out to the far side, though, by the home team. Aitor Nunez has a look round, eventually rolls it back. It looks like it will be Griezmann who is definitely coming on next. Ball played short, picked up in the midfield by Vitolo. Kevin Gamero rather, and it's absolutely hammered forward. Gives Fernando Torres something to chase. Keeper and central defenders there. David Oliveros got to it first, though. No danger there. So the throw-in to the visitors on that far side. Torres brings it under control, turns away from one, then two, goes down the outside. Aitor Nunez tries to stop him from getting the crossover. In the end, he tries to find Vitolo. Does drop back in the end to Saul. Saul across into the centre before the drive, up and over the bar. Not a bad effort in the end from Augusto Fernandez, and there is the first change of the game, and it is Jorge Felix who comes on for Manu Molina, and it will be Fernando Pumar who goes off for Javi Lopez. So a double change for Lleida. The two wide men making their way off of the four midfielders. Manu Molina and Fernando Puma and Javi Lopez and Jorge Felix are on. And now is the time for Atletico de Madrid to make their double change. You can see him down there, Diego Costa, wearing the number 18 shirt, along with Antoine Griezmann. And I've got a feeling it's fairly obvious who those two will be coming on for. Doubt we'll be going to a front three with Simeone in charge. Having said that, Diego Costa comes on and Angel Correa goes off. Not the round of applause perhaps that Diego Costa would have wanted. There is Fernando Torres who will make way for Griezmann, so we are going to have Camero, Griezmann and Diego Costa all on for Atletico de Madrid. So Diego Costa back in an Atletico de Madrid shirt for the first time since 2014. A warm round of applause from those supporters away to our right. July 2014, he agreed the move when Chelsea met the £32 million buyout clause. After 4 years, an Atletico de Madrid player in his second spell, and 2 years prior to that, but he didn't really play that much. Loaned out to Braga, Celta and indeed Albacete before a year with Real Valladolid, and then broke into the Atletico first team and really showed what he's all about, the Brazilian-born Spain international. Fernando Torres, one has to wonder what his future as well holds at Atletico. Even more of a bit part one should wonder. Doesn't look too happy there, does he? Diego Costa on. Does that mean more goals for Atletico, or can Lleida pull themselves back into this tie? As yet, Mustafa rolls it back. 12,500, only 1,000 empty seats here at the Camp de Sports. Really good turnout and a really good money maker for the Catalan side. There's a real up and under. Juan Fran looking to deal with it. The substitute Jorge Felix goes in. No foul, says the referee, but then he gives the throw in the other way. So throw into Atletico, away down to our left. Down the line, Griezmann fails to get the flick on. Musa again turns one way then the other, has a look up. The ball in, not so good, but maybe he was hoping the second ball we picked up. Mustafa can't reach it, headed across by Jose Luis Valiente. Saúl just clearing things up before Javi Lopez could get in there now. Lucas Hernandez down the line. Vitolo trying to turn away from his man. And there's Diego Godin spreading it across to Juan Fran, just has to check his footing, brings it back to Jose Jimenez. Jose Jimenez back to Augusto Fernandez. Eases past Bojan Radjulovic far too easily there. Saúl with a body swerve, and of course also one would suspect the superior fitness of Atletico will come into play in the next few minutes. Lleida playing a division which is very much part-time. Griezmann down the left. Vitolo will look to turn it back. Has managed to connect before it goes out, and it is a corner to Atletico on that far side. They really do have a very attractive looking forward line now. Plenty more options for Diego Simeone. Would have liked these players in the summer, of course, with the transfer ban. Has had to remain patient, and one has to say really has kept Atletico right up at the forefront of things, despite not being able to refresh his squad. There's the header that comes in from Saúl, dealt with comfortably enough by the goalkeeper Atletico. Of course, 9 points behind Barca, but they are second. Some 5 points above arch rivals Real Madrid. Now third and final change in the offing for the home team. Look at that from Musa. Not scared at all, is he? Now Gamero down the right, flicks it to the overlap. Juanfran pulls it back into the centre! And a dream start for Diego Costa. What a return to Atletico de Madrid. Unbelievable, really. Focusing in on the man he is set to replace. A really deadly finish, just swung a leg at it. Good cross from Juanfran. It was a real half chance. And he steered it past the keeper into the far corner of the net. Gamero had a check, looked for the run of Juanfran. Look at Costa's movement there. A really, really smart finish indeed. He has waited many, many months for that moment. And it's all been worthwhile. But in the celebrations, looks like something really bad has happened there to the Brazilian-born Spain international. And the doctors immediately on to check. After so many months out of action, he's done what he does best, but that looks to be a particularly painful one. And they've made all their changes. Jordi Martinez comes on to replace Ivan Agudo. A real concern over the knee of Diego Costa, away down to our right. Stretched out the leg, scored, wheeled away to celebrate, and you saw the fans have a look at him, but he just seemed to collapse as his teammates celebrated with him. So Atletico playing with 10 men at the moment. They are leading by 3-0, but that really will be some concern, because he does look to be in some distress down there, does the new arrival. I say signed in September, not able to play. This is debut, or his second, maybe even third debut, one could consider. His third spell with Atletico. That's great play from Musa again. He really has been absolutely outstanding, hasn't he? I'm not sure Diego Costa will be able to continue here. Comes on, scores the goal, and then straight back off. The Atletico hierarchy, including Thiago there, looking particularly concerned. As let's have a look at it again here. There's the goal, just maybe caught on the instep accidentally by Marc Truis. Let's have a look there. Oh dear, yeah, when you see it from that angle it looks even worse. Right into the knee, and that one really, I've got to say, if Diego Costa goes down saying that hurts, I've got to think that really will hurt as well. He's not one to stay down. Diego Godin probably saying to him, we're 3-0 up, we're doing okay, don't risk it. Can't even walk on it, can he? Trying his best to shake it off. He's waited so long to come back. Here he comes back on. One has to wonder if it'll be a good idea, but we'll wait and see. Musa tries to push it around, picks it up at the second time of asking, now continues his advances. Good ball infield to the substitute who takes aim, but a low drive from Jorge Felix straight into the arms of Miguel Angel Moya. It does look like he wants to come back on, Diego Costa. Try and run it off. Here's Simeone having a word with him. Limps back on into the action. We'll have to see. Doesn't look too comfortable, it has to be said. David Oliveros launches it upfield. Ball doesn't go out according to the lines. I think that's well played, but falls into the midfield for Augusto Fernandez. Diego Godin. No doubt be a free kick given away on the far side by Jorge Felix. So he really is the man of the moment, isn't he? All the photographers around him at the beginning of the game when he took his place on the bench. Then all eyes on him when he came on to replace Angel Correa. Then he scores the goal, and then he picks up what looks like a particularly nasty injury, getting the bottom of Marc Tries's boot right into that knee, but he is carrying on, Diego Costa. Saul plays it forward to him, chests it down, gives it away immediately, and still hobbling ever so slightly. Godin will calmly clear this into the feet of Augusto Fernandez. Now Griezmann. Now you can see there Diego Costa starting a sprint, really trying to shake off that injury. Felix battling away, finds Musa on this near side. Another superb pass. Now the chance for Bojan down the left. Can he pull it back to find somebody? No, he goes for goal himself, and it was all a bit greedy. He had three teammates in there to try and pick out. Diego Costa battling through. Marc Tries getting away with it. The touch from Griezmann not too delicate. Mustafa, a sliding challenge is a poor one from Augusto Fernandez. He dived in. It does win it back. The free kick will be given. Vitolo just pulling back. The lleida man, so free kick. Minutes of this Copa del Rey tie remaining. Copa del Rey first leg, of course. 105 minutes of the tie remaining, what with the second leg in the Wanda Metropolitana to come next week. There is a corner to the home side. They just want to restore a bit of pride here, lleida. Lifted up and over to the far post. A bit of pushing and shoving. The fans, the vociferous set of fans behind that goal away to the left, appealing for something that was never going to be given. The referee, Mr. De Burgos, not interested as Diego Costa continues to limp along. Pitola, the other player who's in a similar position to Diego Costa, but he was played, of course, loaned out to Las Palmas, yet to have a real impact on this game since coming on. He hasn't really been involved at all, has he? Flick down the right, and lines are bringing it to a halt, stating it was already out. The focus continues on the legs of the Atletico forward. Not too surprisingly, of course. It's a good tackle from Godin. Slid in, read the ball very well indeed. Now Juanfran having a look down the line. Kevin Gamera puts on the afterburners. It's very good defending indeed there by Eneko Sarostegui. Here's Musa. Oh dear. He could be in the red and white tonight, couldn't he, Musa? Very well played. Valiente to Sarostegui, and then across to Marc Tries. Now on that far side, Aitor Nunez slots it down the line. Just wanted to take it with him, of course. The third substitute, Jordi Martinez, and the ball to the edge of the area, only as far as Antoine Griezmann. Diego Costa turns away from one, but can't turn away from the second. Good tackle, draws a round of applause. It was well played by Valiente to get the foot in there. Pull back from Jorge Felix just brings proceedings to a halt. Yeah, look at that. That is going to hurt. The bruising coming out now. And the stud's going right through that. I have to wonder if every player would be able to get up and carry on with that kind of marking. Scored his goal though, and no doubt the adrenaline will be seeing him through. Moving with a bit more freedom now as this goal kicks, whistles over Diego Costa's head. Good control. Good combination play between the two substitutes, Jorge Felix and Jordi Martinez. Cleared back, and Jorge Felix tries to win it again over the head of Musa. And there is Mustafa rather. And now the free kick, and one highlight I've got to say. I was just about to say no cards have been given out as yet, and they still haven't to anybody on the field. It does look like Diego Rivas, the backup goalkeeper, is the player who has been booked though. Gerard, how about that? Lejo just telling his bench to calm things down. And there is confirmation it is Diego Rivas with the first booking of the game, but nobody who's actually participated having yet been booked. It's a decent ball in, and the header is over the bar from Marc Trias there. Everybody onside. Met it in the middle, didn't they? Actually, Bojan Radilovic who got the final touch. Yes, it was. Didn't really seem to know where it went. Diego Simeone, through gritted teeth, was hoping one of his defenders would be the player that met it. Mustafa puts the tackle in, falls back to Atletico de Madrid. Here's Bitolo turning one way then the other. Eventually does just clear things up. Finds Diego Godin, and now all the way back with Moya. Into the midfield once again. Saul on, Griezmann turns. Diego Costa making the run through, and Musa there again, reading it brilliantly. Eventually just pushes it forward and shoved out of the way Jorge Felix, and that will most certainly be a free kick. Antoine Griezmann might complain, referee telling him not to. We'll look at it again there. Yeah. Just shoves him over, doesn't he? There, yeah. At any level of football, you can't put your hands up like that and expect it not to be a free kick. Tackle goes in from Lucas Hernandez. Born in Marseille, but moved at a very young age to Spain and joined Rayo Majadahonda. Well, have played with Aitor Núñez at Rayo Majadahonda at some point. It's a good turn. Trying to find some space, Jordi Martinez. And the battling goes on. Musa up from full-back, trying to get his moment of glory. Headed forward once again. This time Griezmann plays it out wide to Diego Costa. Musa out of position, and his captain Mustafa back to cover. Good tackle from Mustaganing, the Senegalese midfielder. So Juan Fran will take the throw for Atletico, who are very much in control, 3-0 ahead. Diego Godin, Fernando Torres, and of course Diego Costa with the goals. Down the line for Juan Fran, who set up that goal for Diego Costa. And Musa just steps between man and ball and runs out for a goal kick. And although one has to consider with the second leg away in Wanda Metropolitano, Lleida perhaps already looking at an exit from the Copa del Rey with still a full game to go. They really have given them a good account of themselves, the third-tier side. They've just come up against one of not only the best in Spain, but of course the best in Europe. A very, very strong Atletico de Madrid outfit. Juan Fran in front of the Lleida bench, looking for options. Griezmann with the flick. Diego Costa looks to control, gets a knock in the back. Going through the walls tonight. Familiar pose. The Lleida players keen to have a word with him. Sarostegui putting the arm in on the lower back. Cholo Simeone calling for the card. Still no cards produced for players on the field though. Refereed the game extremely well. May be question marks over the linesman's decision to allow Fernando Torres his goal, but the referee himself has only done what he can. There's Griezmann trying to feed in Diego Costa, overcooking it straight through to the keeper. Lleida unable to hold it up. Well won back there by Mustafa, who I think consider might have gone for goal himself in that position. Instead, trying to flick it through. It's a good ball out wide though for Aitor Nunez. Aitor Nunez squares up to Vitolo, who's back in defensive mode. Mustafa gives it back to him. Mustafa's remit not to try anything too fancy. He's the ball winner. No doubt about that in the Lleida lineup. Griezmann forward once more. Diego Costa will just put the keeper under pressure. 4.5 minutes of the 90 remaining. Lleida 0, Atletico de Madrid 3. And the other game being played at this very moment in the same competition at the same stage. It is Formentera 1, Alaves 3. So I wonder if both these two ties are in fact over. There could well be a penalty. Oh dear. What's he given there? He's given a free kick to Atletico, but not quite sure how that decision was reached. Curious. Lucas Hernandez. Oh, that's right. There you go. And you see if that angle, the referee did exceptionally well. Aitor Nunez knocked Lucas Hernandez into his opponent, and wow, the Lleida fans, if they could see that again on the replay, wouldn't be waving the makeshift pañuelos, a handkerchief to express their disgust. It's, I've got to say, good decision by the referee. Aitor Nunez was very naughty there. Toller with the knockdown. And pass back to him, not of the desired quality, however. The multiple system allows play to go on, and maybe in the 87th minute, just don't know if you've noticed, of course, this encounter being played with a white ball, despite all the league games, of course, being played with the yellow ball. Maybe you said that in the first couple of minutes, or aren't geeky enough to consider these things. Can hold it up and move his way through. Javi Lopez does every well to come away with it and find Musa on this near side. Musa slips playing it forward, but does well. Mustafa in with the 50-50 with Gameiro. Now with an opportunity to feed Kevin Antoine Griezmann rather. In the end, that's good defending from Eneko Sarostegui. Comes across.
permanezcan en sus asientos tras el final del partido. Gracias.
Atletico building once again. A fourth goal really would put the icing on the cake for them. Been at their outstanding best though, Atletico, but hugely effective, of course. 3-0 winners in a first leg of a Copa del Rey tie. One could say job done. Diego Costa goes over yet again. He's inviting the challenge. Has his legs taken from under him. Had the opportunity to move to China as well. Chose to come back to Atletico de Madrid. Wanted to continue playing in Europe, playing at the highest level. And of course looking to get himself into the Spain squad for the Summer World Cup finals, of course, in Russia. All the way back with Moya, played out wide. And the drop back is the pass up the line, looking for Bitola once again. It's a decent ball up and over, and eventually got in. Just has to hook it away. Jorge Felix tried to reach it at the other end. Now Camero tries to get away. Mustafa holds him back. I've got to say that. Still no yellow card. I've got to say that looked like a booking in any other game. Maybe the referee just saying no at this early stage. No point. Whether they're going to add any time on. I'm just wondering if the fourth official was saying how long are we adding, and the referee saying nothing. There's certainly been an awful lot of stoppage time. Yeah, 3 minutes. Okay, we are going to add some on. I thought we should have to, what with Diego Costa's injury, the goals and the substitutions, but that gesture from the referee made me wonder if he just thought that'll do. Not that he's allowed to do that, of course, but you never know. Griezmann with the flick through the middle. Camero down. Oh, that's a naughty tackle. He hasn't booked anybody yet. Is he about to produce a red? No. Yellow card. Mark Trias has been sent off. No real choice. No, clearly doesn't win the ball, does he? Camero not really hurt. Lleida will end this game with 10 men. A game in which they really have played their part, it has to be said. That ball staying in. That's where the first yellow card came from Trias, who does get 2 yellow cards, so poorly done by the commentator, have to be said. I didn't see that yellow card at all. I've been talking about the fact he hasn't booked anybody, and the one player he has booked has now been booked twice and red carded. So not the most auspicious return to action as Griezmann lifts it in off the wall. It is 4-0. Griezmann will accept the adulation of his teammates. And that got a wicked deflection, and that, not that it wasn't already out of Lleida's reach, has put the second leg beyond doubt now, one has to think, barring an absolute collapse by Atletico. There's the keeper saying move across, off the wall. The keeper completely taken out. In fact, it was off the head of Bojan Radjulovic when you see it from that angle quite clearly. So 4-0, and there could well be another one on the cards here. That ball played through. Space for Lleida to push up. Will the referee allow any more time on? Coming up to the end of that 3rd minute. He should do what with the goal having been scored, but he doesn't. And there is the final whistle. Atletico de Madrid came up against a very resilient Lleida side who put up a real fight, put up a very strong performance, but in the end they were undone by the class of the team. Not just 2 divisions above them, but a real Champions League side, second in the league. The fans come flooding onto the pitch. The Atletico players want to get off as quickly as possible.
Well, there is a celebration going on for Atletico Madrid, and it looks like many of the Atleti fans who have shown up on the day want to celebrate with them. A win on the road in Lleida in convincing fashion, but concern, a goal and an injury for Diego Costa. 4-0 the final.
The great emperor penguin migration, trekking 100 miles inland to their breeding grounds. Except for these 2 fellas.
This time next year, I'm gonna be sitting on the egg.
I think we're getting close.
Make a U-turn.
U-turn?
Recalculating.
Man, we're never gonna breed.
Just give it a second.
You will arrive in 92 days.
No, nope. You know I'm gonna follow? My instincts.
As long as GPS can still get you lost, you can count on Geico saving folks money.
I'm breeding, man.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Barcelona faces a tricky test in the last 16 of Copa del Rey. Will the Catalan Giants repeat history and raise the cup once again? There's only one way to find out. Celta versus Barcelona. Tomorrow on beIN Sports and beIN Sports Connect.
No cash, bad credit, no problem. There's a whole new way to shop at flexshopper.com.
There is no money down, and bad credit is not a problem. You pay as you go.
You pay a weekly amount you know you can afford.
They have brand name electronics, furniture, and appliances. Pretty much everything you need.
I got a flat screen TV for $7 a week.
We got the kids an Xbox One, and we pay $15 a week.
I only pay $12 a week for my tablet.
I didn't have money for a new fridge, but $22 a week, I can afford.
With FlexShopper,